Follow SportsView London.
We would like to give the young generation, that the award should come to you from the young generation. As you can see it here. Like this is represented Team Fury, and you do something which the world needs. You do this in your daily life. I have the pleasure to have the contact with you and Mr. Peter.
Yes.
It's a very pleasure. You are living this. This should show this award to you. Please go ahead.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Yes. Thank you very much. Take a picture.
Can we ask you some?
Yes, for sure.
Of Mr. Barrett, please go on, be careful. This is and we prepared some questions.
Yeah, fire away.
Who wants to start?
I start.
Okay.
Please.
First question, I wanted to ask you what happened because you said some things about Jewish guys. And
What happened? Well, I was told to be quiet and to stop mentioning these names and things. I didn't have any bad intention towards anybody. I'm just enlightening the world on what's going on, because we only see what's in the newspapers, what's on the TV. And if the newspapers and TVs are being manipulated before it even goes out, then what are we to believe? Nobody knows the truth. So that was why that happened.
They didn't took your title or
No,
something?
there was a petition to get me banned from the sport.
Yes.
But it didn't hold out. Thank
Nobody's
God it
allowed
never.
to say something about Jewish guys.
No one's allowed to say anything about anybody. And if you do, you get in trouble.
Yeah.
Another question?
Good question.
Yes.
What was your feeling when you win a big game?
The feeling is I train really hard. First thing that comes from my mouth every single time is I want to thank God for this victory, because I know that without the Almighty, then I'm only a mere person, a human being, so I would never win anything without the power of God with me as well. There's a saying, if God is with you, who can be against you?
I have a second question.
Go on.
Are you really motivated like the first time to win the second time?
I'm more motivated now than I've ever been.
Really?
Yes.
Because in the press conference and in your interviews,
You are here now with you, no press. You are here private.
Yes. Yeah,
Press,
you don't sound like this when you say, I don't want to train anymore. And I'm
it's
sorry."
called mind games.
Yeah, it's okay. That's
It's a little
my
game.
question.
Yeah, a little
It's
game
just the
that I
game
play.
or it's
Yeah.
the truth? You're really motivated to win again.
I'm 27 years old,
Yeah.
undefeated, heavyweight
And
king.
after that, you want really to stop? Or?
We'll see.
Yeah.
One fight at a time.
Then we have sports question and game questions.
Yeah.
Who question? If I would like to ask. What is the name of your church or your community in Manchester? Which church or?
I don't really associate to any cult group or religion. That's what I don't like to do, because I don't like to associate myself with any certain group. I call myself a child of God. When? Well, I'm not a kickboxer actually, but I have done some training over the years, because my good buddy is the Glory heavyweight champion, Rico Verhoeven. So over the years we've done many sparring sessions, and one time I was going to take a fight in Romania as a kickboxer, but it fell through, so that never happened, Barry, did it?
No, that didn't happen.
Another question?
Maybe I would ask a question.
Go ahead.
You've reached almost everything in your life. I mean, you have a very nice family. You have the heavyweight. You won the heavyweight world championship. What's your next vision of doing? Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
Well, this is a very good question because I ask myself this daily. The answer I can only come up with on a daily basis is I live for today because we're not promised tomorrow. So I can't make any plans for in the future because I don't know what's never going to happen. And like I say, this guy says, what are you going to do after the fight? Well, I only going to take one fight at a time because we never know what's going to happen in that fight. So there'd be no point in me planning a big future if it all falls wrong at the first hurdle. So yeah, I live for today and tomorrow can do what it wants until I get there.
And to whom do you look up? Who is your role model? For example, for all these fighters here, you are kind of a role model and they all want to reach the same as you did. So who's...
I don't really have any role models in sports. My role model is God. Yeah, because he paid the ultimate sacrifice so we could live.
Sonst frage ich ihn das, was du im Flugzeug hast.
Hello.
Frag, sonst frage ich ihn das, was du
And
im
at what
Flugzeug
age did you start to...
Start boxing at 14 years old, and then I started fighting at 16, which is quite late, because a lot of people start young.
It was easy when you fought that fight against Klitschko, or it was more difficult?
It was more difficult than I thought,
Yeah?
although it was an easy
Really?
fight. Yeah, I believed I could play with Klitschko and make it easy. Well, it was an easy fight,
You played?
but I believe it could have been easier.
What do you think about the second fight?
Second fight's going to be even easier than the first one,
You think
because he's
so?
mentally broke down.
But he's also more motivated.
Motivation means nothing if you're mentally not right. Boxing and fighting is all in the mind. I can win a fight before I enter the ring. That's the truth. I beat Vladimir Klitschko weeks before he even entered the ring. He was just confirming what I already knew.
What was your biggest fight in your life?
Biggest fight in my life is daily battle, walking the straight and narrow path with temptation on either side of the road. That's the biggest fight you're ever going to face. The biggest fight is against yourself, turning away from temptation daily. The biggest fight ain't against a human being or a man punching you in the face, or anybody for that sake. The biggest fight is with yourself. That sounds crazy, doesn't it?
Tegen zichzelf, de verleidingen van dingen die
Because
leven.
I'm only a man, yeah? And men of the world want to do crazy things that's in the world involved. So I could go to the pub and get stone drunk for 10 days and then fly around the world. I could do all these things, but I'm not going to do because I'm trying to keep on the straight and narrow path, which is a battle against good and evil. It's a very flip of a coin, which one you're going to do daily.
Hij zegt eigenlijk van hij kan keuze maken tussen haram dingen en goede dingen, weet je wel. Maar hij vecht dan met zichzelf om die rechte pad te blijven. Dat is het zwaarste gevecht. Dus die haram dingen drinken en
Yeah, but I can't fight them, so don't let me.
Nee, maar lijkt een goede vraag. Ja, natuurlijk.
Any more questions, guys?
One question for me, how often do you pray in one day?
How often do I pray?
Yeah.
Different times, different days, more than others. Sometimes I can find myself anywhere and just, he'll come to me like that to pray. And on other days I'll go just once a day, or on other days it could be 20 times. There's no certain amount of times that I pray.
I have a question also for the youth, because we're working with the youth and we try not to let them involved in bad things.
Yeah.
These, especially the trainers. I read that you never were involved in a street fight.
No.
For me, the question is, how do you disengage? If somebody says to you provocative, how do you say, I'll not to be involved? How can you handle it? Not to start, or to not to start, but to the temptation of a provocation.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So people try to provoke me all the time, and it's very simple. I don't need to prove myself outside the boxing ring. I'm the heavyweight champion of the world, so I'm hardly going to mess with the likes of mere people. I'm never going to do it. Because what's a mere man going to do to me? Is he going to punch me or what? He could punch me and I wouldn't even hit him back, because one punch from me and he'd maybe die in the face with no gloves on. So am I going to really risk that and get him 20 years in jail for some idiot who's not got a life, who doesn't do nothing with a life, and their only form of glory is saying something to me? So I'm not going to respond. It's not worth it. Definitely not. One punch away from disaster. That's all it is ever.
One punch away from the
Because it's not the punch that does the damage. It's if you punch someone, they fall over and bang their head on a curb, stone dead, then you're going to go to jail. So it's not worth it. Stay out of trouble. That's my advice.
Who are the people who are praying with you before the fight? Only your team or?
Yeah, team members. All team members, yeah.
All team members. Yeah. And how many Muslims do you have? How many Christians?
There's a lot of different ones. We have a lot of, we even have some Sikhs as well. We have Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, Hindus. So many different people involved in Team Fury.
If you're in a ring with Muhammad Ali, who do you think that wins?
Easy question. Muhammad Ali. But it's a bit of a question where it's a pointless question, because
Mike Tyson.
yeah, it doesn't matter, because it's never going to happen.
I have another question. How much is kind of is show exaggeration? So the question is, would you go with Vladimir for a drink in a
Yes.
pub?
I have no malice feelings towards Vladimir at all. I wish him well. I hope he brings his best performance, and I hope he can win.
Or with another opponent, not with Vladimir?
With anybody, I don't hate my opponents. It's strictly business for me. Nothing more than business. And you don't hate your business associates. They're making me money. I'm making them money. So it's a sport at the end of the day.
How often do you
Yeah,
train?
sometimes 2-3 times a day. Yeah, 6 days a week, 5 days a week. It's a lot.
What do you like the people of Steenbergen? Are they nice?
Yeah, everyone's nice. The Dutch people are very friendly people, and especially in a small village, Steenbergen.
And people recognize you? Or,
Yes.
Yeah?
I think it's hard to miss me. I'm the biggest guy in the village.
Yeah.
I could be jogging down the road and go, hey, chap! So it's just like that. And everybody speaks English, so it's easy for me here.
Kevin komt daar, die gedaan, gewoon
Sorry. Take some time. You see, John?
Tyson's got a lovely award, Faith Award. Very privileged that he's got it. Means a lot to
Get this on
everybody.
camera.
And let's have a close up of that, Tyson. What's it say on it?
It says,
Take Peter's glasses.
Yeah, I
says
knew you said that.
Sportsman 2016, Tyson Fury, in Christ we trust.
Yeah,
It's a good one.
very good.
Very nice.
Special award.
Special.
Beautiful.
Follow Sports View London